Hello, everyone. It's great to see you all. I hope you all are enjoying my new format, which will consist of what you saw earlier, more of me being a part of the things that I'm doing, my live and my videos and my movie watch parties, and also incorporating also something educational, and me putting my twist on it. And that's what's so important about the content is making um, me in the position where I'm actually taking ownership. The movies that I do are public domain, and I'm adding my commentary. So guess what, everybody? Movie night, let's scream! Slumber party over there. We're gonna party. Come on, baby, get on it. I'm excited. Aren't y'all excited about movie night? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I just love it. Let me share some information with you that I'm just chilling right now and have my legs crossed, relaxed, have my husband's flowers that he bought me, and just have the lights dimmed. Martha is sitting right over there, and got my Cowboy Nation hat out. Oh yeah. Um, so let me get down to the movie. Tonight is movie night, and the movies that we're having is the Blog, which is 1958, The Blog. And then we're also having 1972, Beware the Blog by Larry Hagman. You know, the guy who played JR on Dallas? Yeah, he did that one. He was the director. So I'm going to get into it. We're going to read about it. And then after that, we're going to start our movie watch party. Enjoy just chilling and listening to what I have to say. I put together a script about both the movies, and the reason why I've paired them together. And why it's important to pair them together. I do a lot of research on my movies, and I look at most, I mean, all the time. Um, like when the movie was in the theater when it first aired or came out on at the movies, the drive-ins. Those movies, it does have some information that they were paired with another movie in that time. The drive-ins and the theaters, they paired certain movies. So when I get that information, I'm excited about it because I try my best to make sure I pair those two movies together today. I try to find them, and if they're both public domain, then I put them together. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this great stuff, and then we're going to watch the movie, okay? And it will be a movie, and I call it movie vlogging right now. What I'm doing right now is called a movie vlog. And then after the movie vlog, I'm going to actually play both of those movies. And also, it's going to have our 10-minute intermission. Oh, yeah. 10-minute nostalgia, vintage intermission to give us a break. Get us a glass of water. Go hug the fur babies. Take them for a quick walk. Things like that. So it's so important to have an intermission and a water break. I'm so big on water breaks when I go live. I encourage that for all of us. Well, let's get this party started with this movie party tonight. Again, I'm going to go over this tonight, and then we're going to have our movie watch party. Oh, but I'm vlogging right now. It's all about the vlog. Um, Join me as we enjoy watching both the 1958 and the 1972 classics back to back with a 10-minute intermission. In this video, our first feature will be The Blob is a 1958 American science fiction horror directed by Irvin S. Yeworth Jr. From a screenplay by Theodore Simonson and Kate Phillips, based on an idea by Irving H. Milgate. It stars, drumroll, Steve McQueen. Yes, Yes. And when I play these movies, during we have a live chat. And during this live chat, I post trivia, polls, fun facts about the movie, about the actors and actresses, and found out there's just some whole lot of juicy stuff going on. But also, everybody, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And I also post probably during or after every movie, I post vintage car trivia. So the cars, if that information is accessible, then I will post vintage car trivia, that goes with the movie. Those great cars that you see on, what's it called? Living Dead. I posted that. So we're going to be repurposing, or I'm going to be repurposing all of the movies and turn them into vlogs, which is acceptable public domain through YouTube. And so let's continue doing this. But I know I got a lot of people who love those vintage cars. I do. Husband and I always go to the vintage car shows. Oh yeah, yes. So let me get into this. We're going to take our time and just read this, okay? Um, in this video, our first feature will be The Blob is a 1958 American science fiction horror directed by Irvin S. Yeworth Jr. from a screenplay by Theodore Simonson and Kate Phillips, based on an idea by Irving H. Milgate. It stars Steve McQueen in his first leading role, and Annetta Corsat, and co-stars Earl Rowe, and Olin Howland. The film concerns a carnivorous amebioidal alien. I don't know if I pronounce this right. Amoeboido? Amoeboido? Oh my God. Oh my God. I knew I was going to come across a word I probably couldn't pronounce, but we'll chat about that more later. Well, it's an alien. Why don't they just say alien? That crashes to Earth from outer space inside a meteorite, landing near the small communities of Phoenixville and Downingtown, Pennsylvania. It envelops living beings, growing larger and becoming redder in color and more aggressive, eventually becoming larger than a building. The Blob was distributed by Paramount Pictures as a double feature with Married a Monster from Out of Space. A 10-minute intermission is also again included between each movie that I produce and edit. The film is its original film, and I help edit, produce, and do a lot of things that needs tweaking, like the volume, the colors, the sound, just making things more visible and more visually appealing. So I put a lot of work into it. These films just don't come just perfect. Sometimes there's extra stuff or a lot of stuff that's not associated with the film. I make sure that it's good stuff when you all watch it. So what we're looking at is also our second feature, right? And I'm going to talk about both of them. But this is the second feature, which will be the remake of The Blob, which is 1972, Beware the Blob. And Beware the Blob, also known as Beware the Blob, Son of Blob, The Blob 2, or The Blob Returns, or blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, it's not that, but I'm joking at the end of what I was saying. It's a 1972 American independent science fiction comedy horror film directed by Larry Hagman. You remember him from JR on Dallas? Yeah. I'm in Texas, and of course, I can't forget that. Larry Hagman, people don't know that Larry Hagman directed Beware the Blob. It is a sequel to The Blob of 1958, and the screenplay was penned by Anthony Harris and Jack Woods III, based on a story by Jack H. Harris and Richard Clare. The film originally earned a PG rating from the MPAA through though it is now unrated. It is the second film in the Blob series, and it stars, ready? Robert Walker Jr., Carrie, Carol Lindley, Godfrey Cambridge. Remember Godfrey Cambridge? Gwen Guilford, Richard Stahl, Richard Webb, Marlene Clark, Garrett Graham, J.J. Johnston, and Danny Goldman. Uh, we're going to be discussing the unique features and the cultural impact of both of these movies. A lot of us don't know, but yes, there is a cultural impact because we still feel it. We still are excited about it, and we still watch it a lot. We love watching reruns. All of us around here, we love watching things over and over again because every time you watch it, you see something different, right? See something different, unique. Oh my God, that tree back there, I didn't remember, or the missing motel or that sign, or it's a lot of when we go live for our movie watch party. I'm going to be posting a lot of movie trivia, like the signs, like the diner, and when the film was aired, and the location. 'Cause some people think that some movies are located in Mexico when it was actually filmed in Los Angeles, California. So it's good to know about this. Um, the 1958 version is more of a slow burning atmospheric horror film, relying on suspense and tension to create a sense of unease. The townspeople are initially skeptical of the blob's existence, but as more and more people disappear, panic sets in and the chaos erupts. The 1972 remake, on the other hand, is more of an action oriented horror film with a greater emphasis on special effects and gory violence. The Blob is more aggressive in this version, and the characters must see use of all of their wits and resources to try and stop the Blob. One of the most fascinating aspects of both films is the way they explore the theme of conformity and rebellion. And in the 1958 version, the main characters are a group of teenagers who are initially dismissed by their authorities as troublemakers. But as the blob continues to wreak havoc, they become the heroes of the story, using their resourcefulness and bravery to try and save the town. In the 1972 remake, the main characters are a group of hippies and outcasts who live in the fringes of society. They are initially seen as outsiders, but as the blob threatens the entire town, they become the unlikely heroes. Delving into the plot, characters, and special effects of both versions, there are some key differences and similarities in their storytelling styles. And the 1958 version is more of a classic small town horror film with a strong emphasis on character development and atmosphere. And the 1972 remake, on the other hand, is more of a big budget. It's more of like a Hollywood style horror film with greater emphasis on special effects and action sequences. However, both films share a common thread, and the blob is a monstrous, unstoppable force that threatens to destroy entire towns and communities. Wow, I just love that. I just love it. In terms of character development, both films have their strengths and weaknesses. The 1958 version, which features Steve McQueen, has a more relatable and likable protagonist, Steve McQueen, who is Steve Andrews, who is a classic hero type. And the 1972 remake, on the other hand, has a more diverse and eclectic cast of characters, including a hippie couple and a group of Vietnam veterans. While the characters in the remake are more interesting and complex, the protagonist, Randy Hastings, is less relatable and likable than Steve Andrews. Uh-huh. Revealing, and feel free to chat. I am here live for the chat tonight. And you can, of course, chat while we listen to this. If you have any questions, I really try my best to answer everyone's questions. I always post also the plot, not ahead of time, but as you know, to try to bring some more understanding. You know, The Bell from Hell that we saw last week was a very complicated movie, and there is a cut version and an uncut version. So I played the uncut version, which is also tagged for age 18 and older. Um, and I'm going to repurpose that and probably play that Tuesday or next week. Um, but what is amazing about these movies that I'm talking about is that there are so many things that we can get from them. And then we also learn from them. Um, how those traditions and habits and sayings and clothing and hairstyles and high heel shoes and how why men are the way they are today and women is based on a lot of how television or Hollywood was filmed. It's the story. It's like the archives for America. You know, we have a lot of archives that are put and saved in a safe place in our country, the Library of Congress and other locations that protects our history. And it really gives a lot of identity of who we were and who we are, and a better understanding of why our parents were the way they were, and also um, getting these great gems and repurposing them while I'm being true to the artist and the story and repurposing them so people in the future can also appreciate it and learn like my grandchildren, right? It's just a great way to reserve and preserve these wonderful gems. So I wanted to share about the tensions, right? So for both films, the tension builds through a combination of suspense, music, and camera work. In the 1958 version, the tension is more subtle and and understated, building slowly throughout the film. In the 1972 remake, the tension is more overt and in your face with a greater emphasis on jump scares and gore. But in both cases, the audience is completely invested into the action on the screen, on your screen, cheering on the characters as they try to survive against the monstrous Blob. Wrapping it up, both films have had a lasting impact on the horror genre, influencing countless other monster movies and sci fi horror films. The Blob has become an iconic horror villain, symbolizing the fear of the unknown and the unstoppable forces of nature. If you enjoyed this comparison, don't forget to like, comment your favorite Blob moment, and subscribe for more movie insights. If you enjoyed this comparison, also share and press that button there, which is the bell, so you can stay notified. So when I post something fresh and new, you can be the first to know what's going on the channel that you are vested in. Tune in next for the live for which I will share again vintage car trivia, polls, fun facts, and great fun in a live chat with family and friends who I call the cherry on top. I'm Rhonda with Rhonda's lovely sparks, and let's have fun. See you right now. Stay tuned.